everyone watching worldwide. This is CNN10, and I'm Carl Azus. It's great to see you this Tuesday. We're starting in the U.S. and then moving to Japan to fill you in on the latest concerning the coronavirus pandemic. President Donald Trump has extended his administration's social distancing guidelines. These are government suggestions intended to help prevent the spread of COVID-19. They urge Americans to avoid groups of more than 10 people. They say older people should stay home. They also encourage Americans to work and learn from home. Those guidelines were scheduled to end on Monday, and the president had previously said that Easter Sunday, April 12th, would be a great time to reopen some parts of the United States. But this week, after looking over disease information with his top health advisors, President Trump said the Easter deadline was, quote, just an aspiration, and he said he'd lengthen the government's social distancing guidelines until April 30th.
Nothing would be worse than declaring victory before the victory is won. That would be the greatest loss of all.
So what this means is that originally, by Monday, he believed that businesses could start opening, things could start happening again, we could all start living a normal life. But because the coronavirus is spreading so quickly and we are leading, the US is leading the number of cases in the world, they've extended it to the end of April. So you have to think, what does that mean for us? Because we were supposed to go back to school by April 17th, and now he's extended it to April 30th. So as Arkansas, we haven't been hit as hard by the coronavirus, but are we still going to comply with Mr. Trump's laws and regulations, or are we still going to go back when our governor says, or is the governor going to extend it?
The president added he believed America would be well on its way to recovery by June 1st. Several health officials we've heard from in the U.S. and abroad have said the COVID-19 pandemic is going to get worse before it gets better. Among all of the health problems it's caused and events it's postponed are the 2020 Summer Olympics and Paralympics. The Summer Games were supposed to kick off in Tokyo, Japan on July 24th.
Okay, so let's look at where Tokyo, Japan is compared to us. So this is affecting, obviously, it's affecting worldwide. So it's not just us, it's not just the United States, it's not just China where it started, or even Italy where it's so bad. It's everywhere. So let's check it out. So here I have hot springs. Now let's look up Tokyo. Let's go over to Tokyo. It's pretty much the other side of the world, and they're still being affected by this virus. Let's look at some of the pictures from Tokyo. They have a little Statue of Liberty. And they have 9 million people in this city.
Leaders from the International Olympic Committee, Japanese Olympic organizers, and the Japanese government held a phone call on Monday and decided the events would start almost exactly a year later on July 23rd, 2021. IOC President Thomas Bach said humankind currently finds itself in a dark tunnel and that these Olympic Games can be a light at the end of it. But for the country of Japan, the buildings it's constructed for the events, and for the athletes themselves, this presents a number of new challenges. How can they be overcome?
No visit to Tokyo's Asakusa neighborhood is complete without a ride on a rickshaw. But this year, almost no one's riding. This is a lot of empty rickshaws here.
Yes, we have to fight, like a coronavirus.
Finding customers is like fighting over scraps for rickshaw drivers like Yoshi Furuya. And now that Tokyo 2020 is postponed at least until next year, the road ahead is looking long and lonely. Japan's tourism industry is bracing for an economic bloodbath. Millions of jobs and billions of dollars are on the line.
So you have to think about this, especially with Hot Springs, because Hot Springs is predominantly a tourist community. So we have our entire downtown that thrives on tourists, and they come and the money that they spend. And because of coronavirus, this has all been shut down and they're not making any money. So it's a huge problem. You have a lot of people losing jobs. You think about Oaklawn with the races, with the casinos, everything is shut down. How many people work there? How many people make money by working there? And then how many businesses, restaurants and hotels that profit off of people coming into this town? Well, the same thing that's happening here is also happening in Japan on a larger level.
When you combine postponing the Olympics and the coronavirus outbreak, can you put a price tag on how much that's going to cost Japan?
It's likely that the loss will be around 36 billion US dollars.
36 billion US dollars.
The damage is quite big.
Keio University professor Sayuri Shiraishi says that astronomical cost includes cancellation and maintenance fees for more than 36 Olympic venues, compensation for thousands who've already purchased condos in the Olympic Athletes Village, billions in broadcasting rights and prepaid advertising.
If we do it next year, we don't know how successful this 2020 Olympics will be.
More than 4 million tickets are already sold, some seats costing up to $3,000. $800 for 2 tickets.
Yes.
Wow. The demand was so high, ticket holders like Kenji Fuma had to enter a lottery. He wonders if his luck has run out. Has anyone told you what's going to happen with your ticket?
Nothing did happen yet, so even the government didn't send any emails and didn't make any announcements. So we're just waiting for the next steps.
Fans are not the only ones waiting. Olympic organizers need to sort out a mind-boggling jigsaw puzzle, resolving scheduling conflicts with other major sporting events, rescheduling Olympic qualifiers. Kaori Yamaguchi is a 1988 Olympic judo bronze medalist and a member of Japan's Olympic Committee. She knows postponement has a huge impact on athletes. If the games are delayed by a year, their training schedule drastically changes, she says, but I think the athletes can handle it. Yamaguchi says this is a marathon, not a sprint. The coronavirus crisis will end. The Olympics will go on. Japan will have its moment in the global spotlight.
So you got to think with it, what does this, countries push hard to get the Olympics to come to their place because it's a lot of money and a lot of publicity for them. And so now they have built all these buildings and they've done all this stuff to get ready for it because it's worth so much money for them. And now it just stops. So in a year, is it going to be as important to the people? Are they going to bother to come? Or are they going to go do something else? And they have to think about all the money that they spent to get people to come there, if it's actually going to be worth it, or if they're going to actually lose money on